Hey guys, welcome to Question Thursday. As you can see, I have found my equipment, so you don't get webcam video this week. We are going to talk about something that actually was not a question that anybody else asked, but is something that I've been experiencing over the last couple of weeks, and I know that a lot of college students experience it, and I experienced it in college a lot. So we're going to talk about dealing with homesickness, loneliness, and depression. So the first thing that I want to say is that it's completely normal to deal with those things. It's totally okay for you to be homesick when you are first starting college. It's totally okay for you to be homesick when you're getting ready to finish college. It's okay for you to be homesick when you're 25 and in graduate school, or 30 or 45. There's never a time when it's not okay for you to feel homesickness or loneliness or depression. The other thing I want to say is that it happens to a lot of people, and so you are not alone. And I know that it can definitely feel like you are, but you aren't. I mean, there are people all over that are experiencing those feelings. There are probably people in the next room that are experiencing those feelings, and they just don't talk about it with you. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the things that I do to combat this. And then leave it open for questions, and if people just want to talk about how they've dealt with loneliness and depression and homesickness. One of the first things that I do is try and think about things that make me happy. So at the beginning of this year, I made a list of things that I can use on those days when I'm having a bad day, or I just am not feeling what's happening around me. And it's a list of things that make me happy no matter what. So some of the things on this list are things like buy a new book, which isn't great for my bank account, but is fun. Read an old book. So I have a lot of books that mean a lot to me because I fell in love with that book, or I sympathize or empathize with the character, and so sometimes I'll read an old book. Call a family member, call a best friend, or go see my best friend, whichever one makes more sense for you. Read someone's blog that you really like a lot. So for me, that's Brencher or Kaleigh Somers, someone that talks about these same kind of things and does it in a way that makes you feel like you're not alone. I also have on my list something called a smile file. So this is something that I inherited from a mentor, and she creates one. She has an email one, and when she gets emails that make her feel good, she moves a copy to the smile file, and then on those rough days, you can go through that file, and it sort of warms your heart. I also created one on my phone, and that allows me to take screenshots of text messages or tweets or Instagram pictures or anything else that kind of makes me feel great. And I keep those in that file, and then I can just kind of scroll through them on my phone. And so that's really nice. So I'd recommend that if you have the time, make yourself a smile file. Put it in your personal email, or create a file on your computer, or just create one on your phone. And I think it will really help. I also have read through old letters. So if you get a lot of letters from people in the mail, or you have a lot of cards you saved, sometimes reading through those is really good. I also like to look through old pictures. I tend to keep books of quotes, and so I look through those sometimes. I have a few things that I just kind of like doing in general. My stepmom taught me how to bake bread, so sometimes I'll bake bread, although I'm now gluten-free, so I gotta refigure out how to do that. I'll send a text to someone that I miss, just letting them know that I love them and I'm thinking about them and that I miss them. Put on a comfy sweater, maybe dance around the apartment, do some yoga. I do a lot of writing. So it's just things that really make you feel good. And I think that everybody should have this list, and it really helps me on the days that are rough for me. Another thing that I tend to do is just kind of try and center myself and just take a deep breath. Sometimes that's hard, and it's really hard when you're crying and you can't really figure out what's going on, but just take a deep breath and remember that things are going to be okay. things do get better. And I know that's kind of a cliche saying now, but I believe it, and I hope that you believe it too. It's okay to ask for help. So if you're in college, you will probably have access to free health services. That means that you can probably go to a free therapist whenever you want. Often health centers at universities have drop-in hours, or you have to make an appointment, but if you tell them what you're experiencing, they'll try and get you in as quickly as possible. So make sure you check out those options, because I think it's really important that you know that they're there. Along that same line, if you're having any medical issues, often you pay for health services through your student fees, and so you can use the health center on campus if you have a cold or the flu or anything. So make sure you take advantage of that stuff. And if you're not in college, pay attention to what your health insurance plan or your parents' health insurance plan or whatever you've got says about therapy and psychiatry. I think that most plans have something in there that says that people can go, and so make sure you take a look at that, and if you need help, ask for it. And if you don't have health insurance or your plan doesn't include that, often a lot of churches have psychiatrists or therapists. It's usually free of charge, and you often don't have to be a member of that church. You can also see if there are any psychology programs at colleges nearby, or sometimes there's free group sessions at the nearest YMCA or YWCA, or any other community center that's in your area. So don't be afraid to check out those resources, especially if you can't afford anything right now. The last thing I want to say is that this blog and this video series is really a place for people to ask questions and talk about their concerns. So if you're dealing with something, if you're experiencing loneliness or depression or homesickness, I want you to say something, and feel free to come talk to me. I mean, I have definitely dealt with it. I'm dealing with it right now, and it can be tough, but it can also be really good to just talk to somebody about it. So leave a comment below if you are interested in having a conversation about it. I'd be happy to. And if not, that's okay too. If you have any other questions, make sure you include them below, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.